Right, so I'm going to give this this small pond a try. It's looking a bit dark on this camera, but it's looking, everything is really a lot brighter and a lot closer to me than it appears to be. Just paint the reeds, the reflection, the water, a few of the houses in the background, and some of the distant trees, and start with the sky. So the colours I'm using are titanium white, cadmium yellow light, yellow ochre, alizarin crimson, phthalo green, cobalt blue, ultramarine blue, and burnt sienna. I'm using a 10 by 12 panel of MDF, which has been stained with burnt sienna and a bit of ultramarine blue. It has one layer of gesso on it. I'm just marking, I mean, it's not a very nice sky at the minute. I'm just marking out really where things go. It's how I like to do things now. I like to scrub the painting at a fine level, and then afterwards just build up on it. Just a little bit of reflection. If I remember, I might try to use the palette knife. I don't normally use it outdoors. I use it frequently when I'm painting at home. Let's try and find a place for it in this painting. So it looks too bright at the minute compared to the sky in reality. I don't know, the horizon of the sky is quite light. It's a very light blue, but this is still too light. But I'm just going to leave that for a bit. I don't want to just focus on one area of the painting. I want to move around the painting more. So I'll do the golden reeds. Again, I'll just keep everything quite light, and I'll just scumble it in. Nothing more than being marked at the minute. That's all. So I'm just going for the general colour. Let's move this back slightly. Too thick. Right, so that's just that bank of reeds there, which on the camera looks far away from me. It's not. Right, now the reeds in the background, that being the line there, they're catching the sun more. These reeds here are in some partial shade because of this this clump of trees. The sun's just over there. The sun's coming down across these. It's really striking the ones in the background, so I'm just going to put those in a very, very light, mainly just to show the contrast between those in the background and those that are more in the foreground. It's not the lightness that they are in reality. I'll need to bring it down. I'm just doing it as a point of reference at the minute. Just so I don't forget that they are significantly brighter. The light may change, and I put blue in it for some silly reason. I will just indicate some brightness on these foreground reeds where the sun is clipping the top of them and striking those in the background, so it hits them on the way down. Sun coming down there. That's it. So now for the trees in the background, just those there. I'm not really sure how the camera will show up the colours, but there is quite a bit of green, but not vibrant green. It's winter green, so I'm going to use yellow ochre, a bit of cobalt blue. I'll just put a tiny bit of burnt sienna in, and it'll give it a greeny brown colour. But that's too brown; it's too close to the reed colour. No, actually, I've gone off the mixer's gone wrong. Let's try again. Keep mixing, you get it eventually. It's too brown. I'm gonna have to go for cadmium yellow. I thought I'd get it with yellow ochre, but I've lost it, and now I've gone too blue with my green. Put some bent sienna in it, should bring it down. I think that's it. That's it. Just put a tiny bit of phthalo green in just to really switch it from brown to green. I'm leaving spots at the top because obviously the trees are thin and a lot of the sky in the background is coming through, so I'm just leaving some spaces. For when I do reinforce the sky, I'll create sky holes in the trees. And some more vibrant trees here. Let's mark them. I've not used any linseed oil. I'm doing all of this at the minute just with some thinner which is designed for the water mixable oils that I use. It's artisan thinner. Right, I'm just going to put some darks into the tree, so I'll just put a bit of bent sienna into that green mix and a tiny bit of ultramarine blue, and I'll get a murky brown. In fact, I want it a bit more blue. That'll do. Just put some darks in. Quite a lot of dark in there. A conservatory which is attached to the house that I'm trying to paint, and that's going to be a standout feature because in reality the sun's shining off of that. When I look into the distance, all I see is the light bouncing off of the panels of the conservatory. So I think that'll be something that I put in at the very end, and it'll be with pure titanium white or something close to pure titanium white. It'll be very white. For now, I'll just carry on forming these trees, which engulf the house a little bit. Right, I'm just going to try and... Yeah, I'll best mark the houses in first. I don't like painting buildings, but they're there, so I've got to paint them. I'm not very good at getting the tones of the walls of the buildings right. I always go too deep with them. I'll just make some marks now. It's gonna mix with the green, unfortunately, but that green's going to stay wet through the duration of the painting, so there's nothing I can do about it. What I can get done is the shadows that are there. Mark those in now. Probably a bit too warmer than it should be. I'll put some blue in there. A bit better. In fact, I'll mark all of the shadows whilst I'm here. Right. Not very good with alizarin crimson. All you ever get with that is intense pink. I'll stick with burnt sienna, I think. Burnt sienna and cad yellow, possibly. Nope, that's just not the colour I want. Looks like it is alizarin crimson after all. That's the colour I want. Or close to it. I was going to quickly mark where the conservatory is going to be so I don't lose that shape. I'll reinforce it. Oops. Reinforce it later. That's what I'll do, is I'll turn the camera off, do a bit more, and then come back. So I've just marked some of the houses in. Again, they will be built up upon. I'm just going to now reinforce the sky because the sky was a little bit skiddy, but now it's in that state that I absolutely love, where I can just get my brush and start tapping in the colour, and it stays there, and it looks strong when I put it in. There's nothing spectacular about the sky today. It's just a blue sky. A few white wispy clouds which I might put in just to add some interest, but it might be too much. It might be just enough to just do what I'm doing now and just dab in that sky. I should possibly use a bigger brush, but I'm enjoying this, and if I use a bigger brush it might get done quicker, and I'm not necessarily about getting it done quickly today. I like where I am. It's peaceful. It's a good break from what I've been doing at home, and I'll stick to doing it like this. Yes, I'm happy with the geometry of the houses. There was a good chance that I'd get that totally wrong because I'm not very good at doing freehand buildings. I mean, I could use a ruler, but I don't want to feel restricted, and I don't want that feeling of freedom of painting to be ruined by having to get a ruler out and mark every single line and observe the vanishing point properly. I'd prefer to learn how to do it by my eye, which is what I've done, and it looks okay. I mean, with this I was at an advantage that all of the houses were pretty much lying straight, facing the same way, and if I were looking down a street on a hill or something like that, everything would be different. So I've not got that to contend with this. Yeah, so just looking through the viewfinder of this camera, I can see it projects a big white line of haze on the distance. That's not there. It gets well, it is a little bit lighter, but not in any way, shape or form how the camera makes it out to be. So I will put some brightness in because it's naturally there in reality. Just a bit of brightness on the horizon, but it's not much. Right, whilst I've got the blue, I'll reinforce what will be the reflections when I do a proper job on them down here. I still haven't used that oil, I'm still only using the thinner. I'll go using oil in a second. Right, so I'll switch the camera off. When I come back, I'll start building up these reeds. I'll just put the darks in the bottom, get those established first. just mark down the foreground reeds here, which interrupt everything. Need to push those reeds back, they're looking too saturated. But the more and more I look at it, it's all looking too saturated. Start using a mixture of oil and thinner now. Start putting some foliage in. You can starting to dry, so you can start to build it up a little bit now. I can't wait to do that conservatory. That's what I'm really looking forward to. So I'm hoping that when I do it, it's going to make everything stand out really well. Hi there. lost the line of the house now. Hi there. All right. No, it's all right.
To see what you're doing.
Just wasting time. Or doing something constructive with my time. Some might say.
That's lovely.
I'm just working it up. It'll look better in maybe about half an hour.
You can do it, isn't it? You look at it.
Just keep.
It's just reeds and water and
Yeah.
things, but yeah.
Just keep staring at it. Just keep putting more paint on, and eventually something comes.
Yes.
Well, normally it does.
Yeah. Well, I do dabble a bit myself.
Oh, do you?
In watercolours.
I take my hat off to you because I can't do watercolour at all. It's difficult. I find
it is.
Yeah.
I mean, I've tried to do the reeds in various light, and you just
Yeah.
can't seem to get that transparency between them. It just always looks like a block.
You have to plan for before you need to plan where your whites are going to be first of all, don't you? Before you put any of the paint down, and you mess about with is it masking fluid?
Yes, I've used that before. Yeah. I don't like it.
No.
It's a devil of a job to get off.
It is, yeah.
As easy as it looks.
No, I quickly gave up on watercolour. I thought it's a little bit too difficult for me. And tried oils
Yes.
and
Is this oil?
this is oil paint, yeah. Oil paint, yeah. It's water mixable oil paint. Because I don't like using solvents, so
Yeah.
I was surprised that you could even buy such a thing, but yeah.
That's very good. Are you from around here then?
No, I'm from Hull. I've just come down just to do this. I was walking on the bank a few weeks back, and on the way back to where I parked my car, spotted this, and I thought, well, in a few days maybe I'll try this.
Yeah. Works out.
Yeah, we'll see.
Good. Are you on social media at all with your paintings?
No.
I follow one or two others who are East Yorkshire artists.
All right.
Nice to see them.
I'm on you. I've put this will go on YouTube. I've set up some YouTube videos, but I'm not on Facebook or anything like that.
Right. Yeah, we're down here twice a day really. I've been for the last 20 odd years.
All right.
It's changed a lot because they dug out the pond a couple of years ago.
Well, this is now a flood around the corner, isn't it?
Yeah, that's right. All the Ings field is flooded. I mean, that's the way it's supposed to be actually.
Oh, is it?
It was actually designed as an Ings field to flood in the winter when the cattle were grazing.
Right.
But that was many years ago now. So,
do the houses get affected?
Sorry?
Do these houses get affected?
Yeah. And if you look, just there's an expanse of water just the other side of the hedge, between the hedge and the houses.
Right.
And in 2013 when we had the big flood.
2007, wasn't it?
Right up to the top here, right along the track.
Right. Oh dear me.
I've seen a lot of, but I've seen a lot of changes in the last 20 odd years.
Nice place to live though, right next to the Humber like this. Fantastic.
Nice, yeah, it's a nice place to go. Anyway, I'll let you get on.
Yeah, thank you.
Okay then, cheers.
Just trying to tidy up the reflections. I wasn't really concentrating on them when the man came to talk to me. So when I've done these, I'll reinforce the water. I'll put some detail on the houses and I'll leave it alone. This isn't reflections, this is where I'm in danger of creating mud. So I'm still not really sure how to avoid creating mud with paints. Right, so I'll stop the camera and I'll come back when I'm about to reinforce the water and put detail on it. I'm just building things up in the foreground now, just with these reeds, just putting some darks in against the lights that I put in earlier. I've only used one brush so far for this entire painting. Mix a little bit with the blue. Just go easy at the bottom. Right, so I keep gravitating towards the trees because I like painting. I like painting trees, but don't want to go too far. Tell you what, leave that. I will just reinforce these because they didn't go on that well originally because of the blue paint behind them. But they are there. You can see them on the camera. Just try and put some, giving them a bit more body. They were too weak last time. Okay. Put some detail in the houses and leave it. Rigger brushes will no doubt be needed. Get number one round. Let's put the conservatory in first, it's still gleaming. And I will just use pure titanium white. A bit of linseed oil, I think. No, I'll make it an off-white, just put a little bit of crimson into it. Now I need the rigger brush, it's not going to work. some windows. Hi there, you alright? Put some guttering on the houses and I'll leave it. Right, that's where I think I should leave it. Light's catching the top there, and I'll just get rid of that.